If your edges are thinning and nothing seems to work, you may be doing the exact same things that are damaging them. And this applies even to the little babies that you've worked so hard to regrow. Welcome to the Edges Restoration Series, and my name is Fongugi. And in the last video, we talked about what causes thinning. And now, today, we are talking about the 7 mistakes that are secretly worsening the thinning. Now, mistake number 5 is the one that nobody takes serious, but it destroys your edges overnight. So stick around as we learn more. Tight hairstyles. Here we talk of tight ponytails, tight retightening, tight braids, okay? Putting on tight head curls. And all that causes tension on your scalp and on your edges. Now, when you do it too tight, the tension is left here on your edges. And this is the part that is mostly affected. So, every time you're styling your hair, make sure that your hair is loose. Make sure that you're doing it loosely. Even when you're putting on the scarves that we put on to cover our hair, to protect our hair, make sure that the covers are not very tight, because they ruin your edges. They will cause tension on your edges. They'll deter blood flow on your edges, and that will obviously cause losing hair. Those styles that look very perfect, the ones that you look yourself in the mirror and you see you're very perfect and beautiful and they're very neat, what they do is they cause hair loss eventually. They'll ruin your edges. Overuse of edge control. Now, some of these edge controls have alcohol in them. They cause buildups. They have drying ingredients that dry our scalp, our hair on the edges, and all that. Also, constant brushing of your edges. When you're applying the edge controls, okay? You tend to use some brushes and you're constantly brushing your baby hairs and your edges. What that will do is you're pulling your baby hairs, you're pulling your hair on your edges, and that will eventually cause hair loss, and your edges will disappear with time. So when using these edge controls, use them with a lot of care. Do not use them like every time, okay? Let your scalp breathe. Make sure that you clean your scalp after using these edge controls, okay? Because when your scalp is left with those products, your scalp will dry, it will have the buildups, and that will weaken your hair follicles, and that will damage your edges over time. Ignoring scalp inflammation. Now, this happens when you have the inching on your scalp, on your edges, and even in the entire head. You have inching, you have tenderness, you have freaks, okay? You have that burning sensation on your scalp. When you ignore all that, this will cause serious problems. Remember, your scalp wants you way long before severe hair loss is experienced. So learn to listen to your scalp. Anytime you feel that you have that inching, you feel that you have that tenderness on your scalp, examine to learn what is happening to your scalp. And because I've been through all this, I know how frustrating it is to have inchy scalp, and when you do the scratching of your scalp, you cause inflammation, and after inflammation, infections happen, okay? Now, after infections, you have those flakes and all those dandruffs and all that, and eventually you lose hair. And that is why I created my inchy scalp healing guide. because I learned that our hair growth starts with healing our scalp. If our scalp is not healthy, our hair will never grow strong and healthy. If your scalp is itchy, tender, flaky, with dandruff, I will leave the guide in the description in case it can help you heal your scalp so that you can have, strong hair, you can have healthy hair, and the hair that has a lot of volume, like we always want our hair to have. Now, today is very cold outside, so I am taking my video indoors. As you all know, I love doing it outside, connecting with nature, listening to the birds outside, and also giving you that experience of the nature. But today is very cold outside, so today I'm doing it inside the house. And as you can see, my lighting is not very good, so I'm doing it beside the window. And I thank God because the natural lighting is perfect and good. So I'm taking porridge. In our native language, we call it uji, and to keep warm, right? Lack of moisture is another mistake, because dry edges break easily. If your scalp and your hair on the edges is not moisturized, it breaks. With any manipulation causes breakage. Using harsh shampoos on your hair and on your edges, okay, that also will cause the dryness. The other thing that is under the lack of moisture mistake is a lack of hydration. Okay, now I always remind you that water is the number one factor of hydration. Okay, that is the only thing that you can consider when hydrating your hair. Now, every time you hydrate your hair with water, or with the moisturizers that have a lot of water in it, make sure you seal in the moisture with oil, and that is the lightweight oils. Make sure you seal in the moisture so that your edges can be left moisturized and with no buildups. Now, stick around, because the 7th mistake shocked me when I started my edges restoration series, and you will learn that. Stick around for that. The other mistake is sleeping without protection. Now, every time we sleep on cotton fabrics, covering our head with cotton fabrics, sleeping on cotton fabric pillows, that causes friction between our hair and the fabric. Okay, and this is mostly ignored, but it is very effective. It is very dangerous. So make sure you use silk bonnets on your head, okay, and use silk pillows when sleeping. Before going to bed, make sure you moisturize your hair and then cover your hair with a silk bonnet. Over manipulating of your edges. This happens when you style your hair every day, okay? When you do the brushing, the styling with the gels, you want to shape the baby hairs. That one happens. Over twisting your hair on your edges, okay? As you can see, every time you pick your lock and then you start fixing the hairs that you have, the baby hairs, and twisting and trying to look perfect and all that, over manipulation of your edges will cause a lot of hair loss. Most of us are guilty of this mistake, but when you learn to let your edges be, everything changes, and your edges start to regrow, and your baby hairs, you maintain your baby hairs because you're not manipulating them. Giving up too soon. Now, this is the one most important thing and mistake that we make, and I can attest that this one tested my patience. Growth takes time, okay? Growth requires consistency. Healing of your scalp is slow. If you're healing your edges, it takes time. If you're applying oils and doing the massage, you have to be consistent. You have to be patient, Because if you do not do that, you'll never experience growth. You'll never ever experience a restoration of your edges. Many people quit when their edges would have started improving. And so patience, consistency, and taking your time is very important in this factor. Now that we know what damages our edges, the next step is to learn how to stimulate our edges for healthy growth. And that is doing it very safely so that we do not cause more damage on our edges and on our babies that are regrowing and all that. So stick around for the next video because I'll be showing you step by step how to massage your edges and how to do it with a lot of care so that your hair can regrow very fast, so that the massage can be effective, so that blood flow can start doing its thing accordingly on your edges and strengthening our hair follicles. You don't want to miss that one. Thank you so much. Thank you for your love and support, and I will see you there. Bye-bye.